Hi guys, welcome back to the Player YouTube channel. And today I'm with the Fiat Panda City Cross. It's a bit of a car. Well, say a bit of a car. This car has been around since the 80s. That's a long time and it's still here. And this one is in the guise of the City Cross. And the City Cross sort of sits between the top of the range 4x4. Yes, they do a 4x4 version of this. And the entry-level Panda, just a normal Panda. What we need to do is get around it, get underneath it, get it out on the road and give you our evaluation of this new car from Fiat. Let's take a look under the bonnet. And the bonnet release catch is just down there in the passenger footwell. Very easy to find. If you're not in the UK, obviously it's going to be in the driver's side because they're not going to swap it over just for us. So that's where you'll find it. The actual release here under the bonnet is just to the left. There's a little yellow lever, very easy to find. And this is extremely light. And the little bonnet stay is just down here. You push it up, clicks in there. Look at that, nice and safe. Okay, so the City Cross comes with the mild hybrid engine. This is a new thing that Fiat have introduced. And the idea is they take a 1 litre engine like this, 3-cylinder, petrol, and they mate it up to an 11 amp battery, a lithium battery. Now it's not like a hybrid as you probably know it, so you don't have to charge it up. It's a self-charging, so it does it as it goes along. It does like a regenerative brake, it takes it off the brakes and when you're coasting and things, and puts that energy back into the battery and keeps it topped up. So what it doesn't do is drive solely on battery power, not like some hybrids can. So it doesn't, when you get into town and you go under 30 miles an hour, you're sitting stationary in traffic, the battery doesn't take over. All the battery does with this engine is assist it. And when I mean assist it, it gives it a little bit more economy and a little bit more acceleration. However, this little 1 litre engine only produces 70 horsepower. And the only choice on gearbox on these cars is a 6-speed manual gearbox, which isn't the end of the world. It's quite a nice little gearbox. If you go for the 4x4, slightly more options. You've got the choice of a 0.9 litre engine, petrol, and also a 1.2 litre multi-air engine. You probably remember those. They used to put them in the Fiat 500s. They scrapped them because they were bags of fun, but the most uneconomical engines going. So that's basically the engine choices on this particular car. That's it. So now all we need to do is have a little look around and see what we think of the rest of the car. So the City Cross was intended to bridge the gap between the entry-level Panda and the top of the range 4x4. And the whole idea was to give it a little bit of character. These sort of chunky bumpers and this sort of like, well, I suppose it's supposed to be a grille down there when you're off-roading and stuff, but this isn't designed to go off-road. No. As you can probably tell by the 15-inch, well, they're not even alloys actually. They've got big plastic hubs on them. It's quite funky looking, and I think that was that whole idea, is that somebody who lives in the city gets a feel of an off-roader, a bit of a chunky, you know, urban sort of car that goes around. You get the City Cross badge down the side here just to let people know that you're driving a City Cross. And again, you know, these lovely hubcaps on the back here. Round at the back, you get that very familiar back window as well here. And you've got a set of lights up the top here. And this is where it sort of, in my opinion, goes a little bit wrong. It now starts to look like a van. And this is where this car, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, is like a jack of all trades, master of none. It doesn't really know what it wants to be. It doesn't know if it wants to be an SUV, it doesn't know if it wants to be like a family sort of, you know, crossover style coupe car or whatever you want to call it. It just doesn't know. Let's have a look inside the back here. So there's no electronically assisted lift on here, but the struts do a good enough job. First of all, well, you get the inevitable parcel shelf. Now, these things, I go on and on about them. I mean, what is the point in this? You're going to have to leave it in there like that. It's going to get in the way. So basically, there's nowhere under here to put it either. We'll look under there in a minute. So to be honest, get rid of the things. There's just no point in having them. Okay, so there's a little bit of room in the back here. Not a lot. But the good thing is you can put these seats down quite easily from the back. They just push forward like that, one either side. And when that seat isn't right back, I'm going to whiz around here quickly, push this seat forward so we can, there you go, look at that, it's come down now. That's perfect, but it does catch. See, it's catching on the seatbelt and it won't go quite flat either. And the reason for that is I've got the cruise cakes here. See, you weren't expecting that. We have cakes when we're out filming. There's quite a bit of room now. Let's get sensible with this because it's not a bad little space in here. However, under here, see what I was expecting, we get a space saver. And unfortunately, no, we haven't. We're back with these things again. The gunk, as I call it, and the pump. Gunk and pump. Absolutely unreal. This is useless, absolutely useless. It's a latex that you pour into your, if you've ever had to do it, trust me, it does not work. I don't care what anybody says. I have tried. It's happened to me 2 or 3 times where I've been stuck with one of them and it's not got me out of trouble. I've ended up having to call the recovery service to come and get me. Manufacturers, please, just charge us a bit extra or get rid of those stupid books, the owner's manuals that take up all that valuable space in the glove box and give us space savers. We need a space saver, especially if you're doing an urban car and you're going to get a little bit off-road. Anyway, check out the space. There's enough in there to get a couple of dogs and a bit of shopping. So that's good. There's no nowhere to hang stuff or there's no 12-volt adapters, but I wasn't expecting that, not with a Panda. This is like you know when you go in a supermarket and they have their own range of something? It's equally as good as some of the more branded stuff, but it's cheaper. And that's what I love about the Panda. It's an affordable family car. Let's check it out in the back, see what it's like for the passengers. Okay, so here we are in the back of the Panda City Cross. And yeah, it is rather basic, but nonetheless, it's quite comfortable. I'm quite impressed with that. You're not going to find many frills and spills in here. So they have, however, recessed the seat belts, which is nice. So at least you're not going to catch your belt in them when you slide across. There's no sort of centerpiece here. However, there's only a very small transmission tunnel, and you could actually sit someone in the middle with a couple of small kids either side. So if you were out and you picked up Granny and we were all going out for the day, you could get Granny in the middle there if you wanted to, or Nanny, whichever's which. Isofix points, well, they are there. They're hidden right inside, so you just have to sort of feel for them, and they're in there. And there's one either side, which is good. Some little headrests that pop up and down, which are quite nice, very neat. And that also gives you a little bit more room when you sit back like that. That is the only thing I've noticed, is when you put the seat back, the room is quite limited on your knees, but there's plenty of room down there for your feet underneath. Again, no frills and spills in the middle either. There's just a cup holder and somewhere to put some bits and pieces. So one thing I have noticed, I haven't seen this in a car for years, manual window winds at the back here. I'm going to slide over because I've got to show you this. And there's a few people watching probably going, what on earth is that for? Well, that actually, if you do that, it winds the window down. Now, back in the day, when I was a mere whippersnapper, that was all you got. And if you got windscreen, like electric windows, oh, wow, that was like, high tech. It was amazing. Look, all in all, this car's quite well built. It's reasonably comfortable. But most importantly, what's it like over there for the driver? Let's go and have a find out. Okay, before I jump in up front and show you what it's like for the driver, one thing that we noticed in the plastic on the side doors, very, very discreetly, is the word Panda repeated all the way through. It's quite incredible. That's one thing you just wouldn't expect from a budget car. One thing I did expect was some front windows that are electric, and they are. There's a button in the middle there, I'll show you in a second. And you do get some decent speakers. There's a decent surround sound system in this car, believe it or not. But then the Italians love their music. So let me jump in, show you a little bit more about this car. Okay, so it's not keyless. You weren't expecting it to be keyless ignition, come on. So pop it open like that. We'll plug that in there, and we'll turn the power on, and we're going to turn the volume down because as soon as you start this car, whenever you put the key in, the radio comes on and you can't do anything. There you go, see? There's just nothing you can do about it. It always comes on. You turn it down, turn the engine off, turn it on, it comes back up again. It's like as if by magic. Okay, let's start with the steering wheel, the little Fiat steering wheel. On the right-hand side here, you've got the menu scroll button, and you've got what I call the Hey Siri button. So you can basically command it to do bits and pieces. And then you've got a little search and maneuver button there. It's like a little knurl button, goes up and down, which is really good. On the left-hand side here, you've got your telephone controls. Now, this doesn't have Apple Play and Android mirroring, but what it does have, as you can see, I've plugged my phone in up there. It has a USB port that goes into your phone so you can charge it, and it's very handy little screen holder. So it'll actually hold your phone right up there, and you can use that for your sat-nav system, like your Waze and your Google Maps and everything. The other thing it will do is let you play FaceTime and, well, not play FaceTime, use FaceTime and watch videos and stuff while you're driving, because that could be a little bit dangerous. So I warn you against that, ladies and gentlemen. Please be careful. Do not use it for that. But you can use your phone here on, once it's all connected up, you can use your phone on the side here, and that's your volume button on the left. Very, very simple. Manoeuvrability, that's it. And it makes a funny noise. A bit like a duck. Strange. But yeah, it doesn't come out either, and that's about it, just up and down that little bit. But you do get a little digital dashboard in the middle there, and on the right here, on your windscreen wiper stalk, there's a button, and that will scroll through the computer, the little settings. So you've got your average speed, your fuel consumption, you know, all those bits. Analog either side, to the left is your speedo, and to the right is your tachymeter, your rev meter. It's all very simple. I like this. Okay, moving swiftly across. There isn't a touchy-feely screen on this. It doesn't do anything. It's just a little plastic screen. Volume knob to the left, and on your right here, that's your scroll button, so you can manipulate what you want. So if you're in the radio, there's only medium wave and FM on this car. There is no DAB radio, but I'm sure you could potentially have that as an extra if you inquired. The media button is down there, and the menu down there, and well, all in all, it's very simple to use. Makes life very easy. You've got some presets around the volume button here. I like the fact that is a knob as well, because it means if you've got your gloves on, you don't need to take your gloves off to turn your radio up and down, which is nice on those cold days when you get in the car. There's a number of little buttons across here. One of them in particular that I love about this car, you have the City button. Now, if you push that, up here will come up City, and your steering will become a little bit lighter, which makes it a little bit more easy to maneuver into your parking positions, which is very good. You've got your lighting adjustment. Now, as in the lighting up or down at the front, so your headlights can go up and down. They've actually given them a separate switch on this. Rear fog lights and your rear heated windscreen, which is nice. And then you can do that's your sort of stall button, you know, the stall bit when it pulls up to the lights or whatever, and the car just shuts out and then it starts up again. One good thing about the hybrid version is it's very quick to restart itself. So there's not that little lag when you start to get going again. The only problem with this, again, is you've got all your wires hanging everywhere. So you'd probably be better investing in a shorter lightning cable. There's a place over here to put all your knickknacks and bits and pieces. And then moving down here, this is your heating controls. Very, very simple, as you would expect. So you do have an auto button, and you do get aircon on this car. One button up and down for your temperature, little digital display there. And then your fan, if you want to do it manually, you can do it yourself. And then you've either got sort of wind blowing up there. Wind? You've either got air blowing up there or down on your feet. And yes, well, it's all rather plasticky, but everything is there as you would need it. Window buttons in the centre, up and down for the front, not for the rear, as you saw. Six-speed manual gearbox. That's what we mentioned when we were under the bonnet. It's all there. Now, the one thing I like about it, look at the way it's set up. It's perfect. It's really nice. Love this gearbox. You've got a very minute cup holder in the middle. It's supposed to be a double cup holder, but it's probably made for pixies, to be honest with you, because you're not going to get a cup in there. It's just impossible. A 12-volt adapter. Now, that's very handy. Another knick-knack place down there, and another knick-knack place behind the pixie cup holder. And my favourite bit, because this is what I love about old school cars, you get a proper handbrake. Finally, we're getting there, guys. We are getting there. Glove box, look at that. Well, sadly, another one of these. Now, you know I mentioned earlier when we were around the boot, get rid of these. We can find everything we need to know about this car online. So easy, we can do it on the phone, simple. Let's get rid of these and we can get space over wheels instead. And look, you get room. When I put that in there, full up. Useless, absolutely useless. We need to get this car out on the road. Let's give it a road test and give you our final evaluation of the Fiat Panda City Cross. I love this car. Let's go do it. So here we are out on the road in the Fiat Panda City Cross. And yes, it's surprisingly nice. I thought it was going to be cheap and nasty and throwing you all over the place. It's very comfortable. It's very quiet. You've got a great all-round vision. It's quite amazing. Okay, so we haven't got any of our little, foibles, as they call them, like there's no autonomous braking, there's no cruise control, there's no, blind spot mirrors, there's no reverse parking sensors, all things like that. But you see, this is the wonder, the beauty of Fiat. This is the way they do things. You can add all them. It's quite easy because there's 5 different packs that you can buy. So let's start with the pricing, because an entry-level Fiat Panda will cost you less than 11,000 UK pounds. Yes, I did say less than 11,000. For a car like this, okay, it doesn't look like this because it's just a standard Fiat Panda. But nevertheless, it's the same car. It's no difference. It's got the same engine, it's got the same body, and it's got the same all the same attributes, if you like. Less than £11,000. How amazing is that? If you want one of these, the City Cross, £14,000. Again, highly affordable. And if you really want to go silly and get the 4x4, the one I was talking about, we were talking about under the bonnet with the engine differences, the 4x4 version of this, by the way, it will go up a 20-degree hill. And trust me, I've tested it and it really does. It's amazing. It's not actually 4x4. It's one of those, where it adjusts from front to rear with using the differential. It's electronic diffs and stuff like that. So it's not a true 4x4, but nevertheless, it's absolutely fantastic. 18,000. So you're basically adding 4,000 each time as you go up the scale. But the packs that you can add, so you could buy one of these, the City Cross, for 14,000. And by the way, you can get that for around about 170 UK pounds a month, because the residual on these is superb as well. Absolutely amazing. So, brilliant on the finance, brilliant on the actual cost itself. What about the warranty? Well, warranty on this, 3 years, unlimited warranty. Absolutely, incredible. You can't want more than that, can you? So you've got a good price, decent warranty, and if you really want to lease finance it, you've got a monthly figure that's highly affordable. And that's what this car is all about. It's a family car, and it's family orientated that way. It's affordable, so you can go out and buy yourself one. And then you can start adding bits on. Okay, so those packs, let's talk about the packs. We said we would. So there is a comfort pack. Now the comfort pack, I like this. This is actually really good. You get folding mirrors, so your mirrors folded. Still no blind spot mirrors. You get your parking sensors as well. Parking sensors, so that's good. And the folding mirrors are heated as well. So during the winter, they're not going to get frozen up. You can see where you're reversing or whatever you're doing using your parking sensors. There's no camera as such. So it's just the beepers, the beep, beep, beep when you're getting near something. Then there's a safety pack. Now, with the safety pack, you get the parking sensors, the mirrors, the heated mirrors, but you also get autonomous braking in town. Now, you guys know what that is, autonomous braking. When the car takes over, if it sees something that you haven't seen, forward or rear. So it's basically, and then it brakes, and it's brilliant. A lot of cars, it comes with that, it's not extra. But that's in your safety pack. So if you want to add that, if you're not bothered, don't bother. But if you want to add it, you've got the safety pack. Then you've got a winter pack. Winter pack's amazing. You get a heated front screen, heated front seats. Thank you, sir. So you can add all these packs together. So you can say, right, I'll have a winter pack and I'll have a safety pack plus. There you go. And then you could just sort of hand pick these and put it all together. It's like bolt-ons. And I really love the idea of doing that. So you're not beholden to a set figure to include all that, which is nice. It's really nice. You get the other thing I wanted to talk about is the defense pack. I love saying it that way. It's a defense pack. Now listen to this, guys. This is only Fiat can come up with this. It's incredible. So the defense pack is a HEPA or HEPA, however you want to say it, filter that will get rid of 99% of particulates in the air in this car. So it is almost like breathing pure air. There you go. But that's not the defense bit. It defends you against pollen and fumes and things like that. The bit I'm smiling because I'd love to test it and see if it actually works. You could get a UV light for this car. It goes up here and it will desanitize the whole car in a few seconds when it comes on. So when you turn it on, it desanitizes. So the steering wheel, the gear shift, the handbrake, the window, everything, desanitizes it. It's a UV light. Yeah, check it out. It's also, I think it's one of those, you can remove it as well. And they do an ionizer, you know what those things are, they filter the air out and stuff like that. So the defense pack, I think it's incredible, especially given COVID times that we're in at the moment. And if you're sharing the car amongst the family, it's probably quite nice to actually have that built in. So ask your dealer about any of those packs when you go down there to check out the car. So all that remains really is, what's it like on economy? You know, we've got that little 3-cylinder 1-litre engine powering this car. It should be good, and I can report it is. It's nearly 49 to the gallon around town, which in my books is pretty spectacular. 49 to the gallon, we're going to get, if we get out on the road and we start doing some proper mileage and sit there at 70 miles an hour, trust me, we're going to be up in the late 50s to early 60s to the gallon on this car. And it will sit at 70 quite comfortably. But the one thing I love about this car, it's Italian, it's Italiano. And that means it has to be driven how an Italian would drive. Listen to that little 1-litre engine. It doesn't go anywhere, but it just sounds like an opera scene. It's like, oh, it just wants to get going. It's that same engine in that Fiat 500 we had. And to me, it's just like a little opera singer under the bonnet, just like, oh. And I just get so, it just puts big smiles on my face. It really does. So we've covered everything really. It's good, it's value for money, it's economical, it's comfortable, it's safe within reason. I mean, it's got its 5 stars, so it's pure, it's quite safe. So I think it's a bit of a no-brainer. Go and test drive one, that's my opinion. That's the only way I can give it to you. Right, enough of all this car. It's been a pleasure driving this little Fiat. I've really enjoyed it. But let's move on, because now I want to offer you something for nothing, for free. There you go. So sit tight a second, just watch the ending, because basically you can get a 200-page magazine for guys, and that includes all the cars we cover, the boats, the interviews, the golf, everything in there, wine, beer, holidays, you name it, it's in that book. It's called The Player. And all you have to do, and look at me, I'm not a data capture person, so trust me, all you have to do is go to www.theplayer.co.uk. There you go, it's coming in now. I'm going to leave it up for a few seconds, just for those of you a little bit slow writing things down. Go there, just put your name in and subscribe and your email, and then you can access that. It's 200 pages. You get the online version. You don't get the actual book, because we do produce that as a book, and that's why it's called The Player Bookazine. You'll see that online. So yeah, go and fill your boots, guys. That is totally free. It's on me because you watched me on AJ the Player YouTube channel. Right, finalising. Don't forget, like, subscribe and comment. If you do like, I'd really appreciate the thumbs up, because I don't get a bonus, don't get extra money. We get a pat on the back from the sponsors and the bosses to say, you did a good job there, guys. And that's all it's about. So if you can sort of bring yourself to do that, it'd be fantastic. I'd really appreciate it. Failing that, subscribe, and if you do subscribe, thank you very much, that'd be fantastic. Leave the bell sign unchecked, because there's loads of videos like this and car things and all other sorts of, you know, lots of different bits and pieces that I think you're going to be really interested in. And I think you'll just enjoy, you know, everything that comes your way, so to speak. Like I say, you've been watching me, AJ the Player. I thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this little review on the Fiat City Panda. The Fiat Panda City Cross. I couldn't even get my words out. As it's the end of the video, we'll keep rolling. Why not? I'll catch you next week, guys, with another car. It might be an interview. It could be a helicopter or a boat or, you know, yacht, whatever. We do so much. Take care, guys. Drive safely. And above all, enjoy life. I'll catch you next week.